Can you talk about the course, how you felt it rode for you guys, and specifically what your plan was going in? We talked about it a little bit last night late at the press conference that you were trying to figure out how to cut some time.
Yeah, I think constantly looking for a course like this. There's a lot of turns, and of course in the field, competitive as it is, time is critical. So just went out looking to make the most of it and try not to be too much of a girl and pull the reins. Just keep kicking. He's been getting Quinn. I got to thank Debbie Crowley who was in with us. It's a homebred of hers, but he's been just getting better and better.
Yeah.
And so these last year I was just chasing qualifications the whole time, so I couldn't ever experiment really.
Yeah.
And then the last bit here, trying to see what I can get away with and just get a little bit quicker. And he's just been getting better and better. He's got an incredibly good gal. And, the only thing that was a little bit challenging here, it's going to be awesome long term, but the ground still being sort of freshly established.
Yeah.
1,000% trust it running way down the hill or off camber stuff. I couldn't be much happier with him. He was just great. So.
And if there was something that you may have focused on during your walk on the cross country course that you actually felt maybe rode better than you walked it, or something like that?
I mean, really everything rode pretty much as expected, except for that corner triple thing combination at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what happened. Got in what I thought was great, and he just didn't come off the ground. So we kind of climbed all over the first and bunny hopped the second. But the cool thing about him is he's so, for a big lanky horse, he's very cat-like and he's quick and he gets himself out of trouble. So.
And what will your
incredible asset
plan be heading into show jumping tomorrow? Obviously you guys are pretty tight in the top three, so do you have a specific, is a show jumping one of his strengths, or do you feel like
it's getting better and better, and we've been doing a fair bit of jumping with him. I wouldn't say it's a total lock, but I think we've got a pretty good strategy in jumping. He was jumping here last week. He actually won a meter 30 class here in the same ring last week, so we'll see if we can't replicate that. I've had him for just a hair over a year, and so we're just getting to know him and strengths and weaknesses. And he's a very good jumper. He's the biggest trying horse about I've ever ridden. But he's not always the strongest either. So I think he has strengths and weaknesses, and so we've been trying to figure out how best to work with him and make the most of his talents.
Yeah, and. Since we didn't get to talk to you after dressage, can you just touch on that a little bit, how you feel your test went?
Yeah, I think he's good. It's a progression, and he's a big lanky horse that I think in the grand scheme of things is still pretty weak. And he can get a little bit nervous, and it's trying to just figure out the best way to keep him comfortable. And if he's relaxed, it can be very, very good. Right? If it gets a little bit tight, then sometimes he just gets a little bit sharp. He can dart one way or the other, that sort of thing. So, I think it was good. There was a couple little bobbles that were frustrating, gave up some points, but long term, I think there's a lot of improvement that can be made, and I think he's come a long way. I think, but he still could be that much bigger, that much better.
Is he going to go anywhere else after this year?
Yeah, he's going to go to Stable View in a couple weeks, and then he's going to do the Ocala. And we've like I said, we're not going to run him a ton of events. It's not that he really needs, a bunch of cross countries left done, but I think we're just going to be a little selective where we go, and hopefully it's a course that can benefit him, and see what we can do. So, and then he'll show jump in between. So kind of hop
Will
on
you be
board.
back here at all? Anything?
Yeah, I'm sure we will. We're right now we're about half and half between jumpers and eventers. So we've got sort of babies to Grand Prix and then babies to this. And so I'm sure we'll be back. There's also some shows in Aiken that will be with the jumpers. So we'll bring them along for sure. I think it's great, like as far as getting more confident, putting in. Oftentimes the jumper shows a much bigger atmosphere, sort of comparable to this, right? So I think the more he's in it, the more comfortable he has become, and the easier it is to deal with it, just because you're in that situation more often. And so that's been, I think, a huge advantage. And over the last year or so, or 2 years maybe, we've been bringing a lot of even the babies up, because I couldn't believe yesterday, like with the any beginner novice under the lights.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little sketchy, but they were good. But like those guys also were here last week, and they got the big rounds.
Familiar.
So, trying to expose them to as big an atmosphere as we can get.
Yeah.
Get more and more confident.
Good. Good. Okay. Awesome. Thanks,
Yeah.
Deb.